General Motors just announced a huge recall with their 6.2 liter. It's a complete disaster. We've been talking about this for months, how General Motors can't build a reliable V8, and it's unfortunate because they can if they take all the BS out of it. If you know about the L87 V8 or the 5.3 that they offer, both have dynamic fuel management and all this stuff that makes it more complicated, and you have cylinder deactivation, and all this stuff just causes more issues. It's literally a ticking time bomb with the lifter failure as well. Complete bearing failure. This is becoming common with these engines. It's crazy. And typical General Motors fashion, they're not including all the years. It's only 21 to 2024, and there's tons of other vehicles that are affected with this engine failure from General Motors. And of course, while all this is going on, of course, the CEO is going to keep getting her raises. But wouldn't you think if your company can't build a reliable V8 engine and you're having to recall that engine, obviously something's not working at your company. And the fix to it, they need a whole new engine. But of course, General Motors is going to try to save money where they can. They want the tech at the dealership to inspect it, do this and that. Like, come on, we need a whole new engine in these things. It's honestly been a complete engine disaster. And I'm happy they kept the V8, but the problem is when you have that cylinder deactivation and stuff, I just don't think they're going to build it reliable. They've been having trouble with this for 15 years. That's the funny part about it. If you've been around General Motors, you know this has been an issue forever. And just the quality of the vehicle overall is pretty low. And we already know the prices are completely insane. We go to a General Motors dealership, Chevy, GMC, you're talking $100,000 pickups. And to have that in the back of your head knowing that it's like a ticking time bomb, it could go off any time. That's the problem with these engines. And it's so common. I bet people are going to comment on this video saying, yes, it happened to me. My 5.3, my 6.2, engine failure, 3,000 miles, 30,000 miles. It happens all around. And I will say there's going to be somebody out there who makes it to 200,000, 300,000 with the cylinder deactivation and all that. And you're one of the lucky ones, but it's just not worth the risk. And all these parts are on back order. So getting a new engine, forget about it right now. Everybody's going to be trying to get one. And so it's going to make the back order issues even bigger. And so it's going to be quite the wait. And you're going to be making a payment on a $70,000 truck driving a Chevy Malibu as a loaner. Because let's be honest, most people who buy these new trucks, who buy these 6.2 $100,000 trucks, probably, and most of the time, are on payments. I'm glad they at least announced the recall, but of course, they're still not going all the way out. They're not protecting everybody. They're going to take their time. They're going to try not to replace the engine. It's just typical GM. They're going to do it as cheap as they possibly can. And I can tell you 100% the 5.3 needs a recall. 100%. And then I scratch my head and wonder, well, what are you guys doing to the new engines? Did you guys change anything? Or are you just keeping it how it is, crossing your fingers and pushing it down the line? Because kind of like Toyota says it was debris in the engine that caused this and that, like there's always more to the story. And these major engine issues are becoming extremely common with modern engines. Complete bearing failures left and right with multiple different manufacturers. So there's a lot of questions up, but I know one thing, it's being built cheaper than ever and they're charging the highest price. There's no question about it, and they're cutting corners left and right. And I hope it costs them. I hope they have to pay the price because engines are not cheap, and when you have to replace thousands of them, it costs billions of dollars. And General Motors knows there's really no recourse. So let's say they fail, what happens? We, the people, are going to bail them out again. So they have no fear of messing up. So they can cut corners, they can build the truck cheaper, they can make that engine 50 cents cheaper. Because if everything goes up, guess what? They're just going to bail us out again. So what does it matter? Let's try to maximize our profits right now. That's what they're thinking. And of course, they did not want to do this recall. It was their last thing, and they should have done it years ago. What I think about is all the people who had all the frustration, they bought the truck, the engine failed, they were over 60,000 miles, and boom, they were out of luck. They lost so much money. And years later, they're finally doing a recall. Thanks, General Motors. You really made it up. But maybe General Motors will get back to the basics and build a reliable, naturally aspirated V8 with no cylinder deactivation, no dynamic or active fuel management or anything to make it more complicated to increase costs to repair and to increase issues because it's just so much more complicated. And the engine will simply not be reliable. If you have a cylinder that's not running and it's dragging that cylinder around and it's deactivating it, with how General Motors lifters are built, eventually it's going to wear out. There's no way around it and you will destroy the engine. So it's a complete mess all the way around, and it's overpriced. So I would stay far away, and I'm a Chevy guy, but not this new stuff. I like the older Chevys more than this new stuff all day long. Hopefully they fix everybody's engine that's having problems with these GMs 5.3 and 6.2, but I already know how they are. They're trying to cut corners already with the recall, not including certain years, not including certain models. And every single automotive manufacturer does this because the recall costs them so much money, so they want to do the bare minimum during the recall. So General Motors is going to keep cutting corners in any way they can by not including all the years that should be, by only including 2021 to 2024s, and not including 5.3s and stuff like that, which need another recall in and of itself because they're having so many issues. So at least it looks like some L87 6.2 liter General Motors owners are going to get some new engines, but still it's only 2021 to 24. But let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.